Hey guys, my name's Ben Howard. We're out here at Timmons Park to play the final match in round 1 of the Zone Clone bracket. If you haven't seen any of the videos in this series before, I'd appreciate if you went back and watched them. But today we're looking at the 2nd seed drop versus the 15th seed Jarn, I believe is how you say that. I haven't messed around with the Jarn at all, but from what I've heard, it's a more overstable, faster version of a zone, where the drop is really just a zone, like it has the same stability, same hand feel, pretty much everything. The only thing I really notice about it is it's slightly deeper, maybe. We're just going to be playing a quick loop with the front 9 out here at Timmons. And yeah, let's go ahead and see who can be the last one to make it into round 2. All right, guys, so for hole 1, we've got a par 3, 264 feet. You see the basket up here to the left. Biggest thing to pay attention to those, we have OB Creek, maybe 5 feet left of the basket. So really just want to make sure, if anything, we end up to the right of the basket down there. But these should be good discs for this hole. I just get to throw them flat out to the right and let the overstability carry them back to the left. We'll throw the drop first since it's the higher seed. Like that. Just get behind the tree. Nope, right in the middle of it. Oh, wow, that is a lot more stable. Ooh, that might have gone out of bounds. I'm not sure yet. Okay, so the Jarn was in bounds by like an inch. It drops out, and as you can see, there's no room behind the basket at all, so I'm not running this. Ah, dang. All right, guys, so for hole 2, we got a par 3. I don't remember what the distance on this one is. I think it's like 180-ish feet, but we're going so far downhill, it really doesn't matter what the distance is. All I'm gonna try and do is just throw them out to the right, let them just come down on a ton of hyzer, spike in, and just hopefully not roll or do anything crazy down there. The green's extremely fast, but the nice part is, as long as I go out of bounds, like past the basket, I'll have a pretty simple par putt. So don't think I'll need to use any mulligans on this hole, but drop still has the box. Oh, I couldn't see that the tree was in the way. So hopefully that's stuck. That felt better. Get down, get down, get down. Nope, that's in the creek. Okay, so both the Jarn and the drop are both out of bounds. And I'm gonna take pretty generous relief off the creek because I really don't want to end up falling in there. But I think this is about where the Jarn went out. All right, guys, for hole 3, we got a par 3, 216 feet. Plays a lot farther than that. Like typically I throw a mid-range here, so I'm not really expecting to get either one of these discs up there, but we'll try. Only thing I really don't want to do is throw something too far to the left because the ground does slope away. You could end up like 100 feet, maybe almost 150 feet away from the basket if you're not careful on this shot, but I don't think that should come into play, but we'll see. Especially not on that shot. I feel like that might be pin high, but I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll find out when we get up there. Okay, so I can't tell which one is closer. They basically both went the same distance. Just the drop didn't get the carry back to the left like the Jarn did. So I don't know. I'll just putt from the Jarn since I'm already standing at it. But both of these are like, yeah, 30 to 35 footers. Fade, please. Nope. Drop, please. Uh-oh. Luckily, this one didn't go too far past the basket. I was worried he was going to roll all the way down that hill. All right, guys, we're on hole 4. This one's a par 3, 220 feet. You can see the basket up here just to the right of these 3 trees right here. So my goal is to end up just in front of them or just behind them. Either way, I'll pretty much be parked. Let's see. Drop still has the box. We've got a right to left wind, so I should drop these discs and keep them from moving as far to the right as I want. So I think I'll try and get them past the trees. Dang it. Let's get down. Don't go over the fence, please. Let's see if the yarn can make an improvement. Oh, if that was higher, that'd be great. Oh, I gotta get skipped though. Oh yeah, that's like a 10 to 15 footer. Man, I took my meter off the wall and that still didn't really help me that much. I just have to do a little forehand putt at it. Nope. All right, guys, we're on hole 5. This one is a par 3, 400, I want to say it's like 410 feet, or maybe it might be like 390 feet, something like that. But the basket's up around this corner, tucked off to the right, up on a hill. Not expecting to birdie this hole. If anything, I'm just going to turn this into a par 4. Just try and throw a shot into the hill you can see in front of us, and then try and throw an approach shot into the green. Biggest mistake I can't make, though, is throwing into the OB creek on the right, which shouldn't come into play, but can, especially as you can tell the ground is sloping towards the creek, so just try not to get anything to roll. But Jarn took the box on the last hole, so let's see what he can do with it. Not getting on any ante. That's a good spot though. There it is. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, so unfortunately for the Jarn, the best line into the green is a forehand, which, as you can tell, brings the creek kind of into play. But if this was a premium disc, I probably wouldn't go for the forehand. But with it being baseline, it should sit. With how overstable this thing's been acting, I'm not expecting it to go down the hill unless it hits, skips, and rolls, or does something crazy like that. Get off that tree. Oh, I like that one too. Oh, that was a brutal roll. Got the same shot for the drop, but the drop's close enough to where I can just do a little chip hyzer into the green instead of having to do a flat to hyzer shot. So, let's see. Still got to get the land soft. Looks good. Stick, please. I hope that's stuck. All right, guys, we're on hole 6. This one's a par 3, 230 feet. Basket's through the scap, tucked slightly off to the left, but the drop got the box back. Oh, great, and we're throwing straight into a headwind, which that shouldn't really affect these discs too much. That's a good line, but I think it's just short. Oh, I pulled that a little bit, but hopefully that sat well. So where I threw the drop, it should land up on top of the hill, but where the Jarn went, that'll probably land on the side of the hill. It's a very good chance it could pop up and roll down the hill. Okay, so the Jarn did stick, and he got a little bit closer than the drop. And I'm very tempted to run this putt, but I don't want to waste the drop's mulligan on a missed putt. So I'm just going to lay this up, but I think I can run it from the Jarn. But we'll also have to see for that one. Yeah, we can run it from here. I don't feel near as bad running it going this far uphill. Just gotta be careful because there is a slight headwind, so I might get lifted and carried to the left. Nope. Oh, 2 good layups. All right, guys, for hole 7, we got a par 3, 212 feet. Basket is straight ahead. Biggest thing to pay attention to those, we've got the OB creek on the left, which shouldn't come into play, but we do have OB directly behind the basket, so if anything, we want to land short and give ourselves an easy putt, because the green just short of the basket is very wide open, tons of room. I just can't go long on this one, but just going to throw some backhand hyzers in the green. Yep, drop still got the box. Okay, just got past that tree. Yeah, that should be inside of 20 feet. Oh, I got a good skip. So that should be about the same distance as the drop. All right, guys, we're on hole 8. This one's a par 3, 190 feet. You can see the basket up here on top of this hill. Biggest thing to pay attention to is the creek is between us and the basket. I typically go for a backhand and kind of throw it into the side of the hill, but I want to throw both of these on the forehand line and see if I can get them up there. I don't think I'll have a problem getting the drop up there, but the yarn, I might have to flex just a little bit. Get up there, go. Don't do it, stop. I think it did. I didn't see it roll anymore. I think it's short. It didn't roll either, so both of them will probably be like just an awkward putt from like. Okay, so both the discs are a lot closer than I was thinking, and the drop got saved by this root. I'll make sure to get a picture of it and show it on screen, but this thing got saved. All right, guys, we're on hole 9, final hole of the video. This one's a par 3, 180 feet. You can see the basket straight ahead right here, but the gap I'm going to be aiming for is just to the left of the gap that goes straight at the basket. I'm going to throw both of them on a forehand, just low and flat, and let the overstability carry them a little bit to the right. This is the hole I've been trying to make sure I save my mulligans for, because any kick on this hole will probably end up with you in the creek, and it's basically a guaranteed bogey at that point. So see if we can hit this gap. Drop still got the box. I'll see where the yarn ends up, because I might need to use the mulligan for that shot, but we'll see. Nope. Yep, there it goes in the creek. So yeah, that's definitely gonna be the mulligan for the yarn. And then if I park this, I think I'll have to use the mulligan for the drop here. Yeah, that's parked, so let me go grab the drop. Is that too far? Yeah, that went a little too far, but that's basically a wide open putt from there. Nope, pulled it. All right, guys, so I finished up our round out here with the drop and the yarn. That's like the first time in the last like 3 videos we haven't had a playoff for once. This is the one round where I'm really surprised by the results, because I figured I would play really well with the drop, because I've considered bagging the drop with how much I like it. And like you could see, the stability of it's very nice. It has a ton of glide while being reliably overstable. It feels great in my backhand and forehand grip, which is very rare for me, especially with the approach disc. So I was hoping I wouldn't lose it by having it win the whole bracket, but to have it go out in the first round is really surprising. So the yarn's going to be the last disc moving on to the second round. So next week we're going to be moving into round 2. I know it's going to be the Ringer GT Zone, but I don't remember what the other disc is. I'll make sure to put it up on screen. But if y'all are interested in watching that, stay tuned for next week. Thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and have a good one.